Welcome to a special full week of Numismatics for National Coin Week. Every second and fourth Thursday of the month, all at noon Mountain, is our regularly scheduled Numismatics. During this presentation, you may come up with questions. If you do, please use the Q&A button on your screen to send in your question. Your question will be addressed at the end of the presentation. Now, I would like to introduce you to today's presenter, Donald. Now, Donald, say your last name for me. I forgot to ask.
Scarinci.
Oh, okay, I was close. Scarinci. I was saying it a little bit wrong in my head. Donald is a lawyer in New York and New Jersey. He is a life member of the ANA and a fellow at the American Numismatic Society. Donald is the longest serving member of the Citizens Coinage Advisory Committee, or the CCAC, and he has served as a nominator for the Coin of the Year award for over a decade. Donald has one of the largest privately held collections of art medals in the United States, but his numismatic interests go far beyond medallic art. He is a serious collector of coins ranging from ancient to medieval, hammered to contemporary world coins. He also collects United States and world banknotes. Donald will be presenting The Search for Meaning in 21st Century Coin Design, and it's all yours, Donald.
Thank you. Thank you. So before I begin, and let me put the slide up. And so before I begin, I do want to let me say that while I've had the privilege of serving on the Citizens Coinage Advisory Committee since 2007, and as a nominator for the Krause Coin of the Year Award, which is the Academy Award for World Coin Designs, every comment and observation that I make today is my own opinion and does not represent the views of either of these two entities. So with that disclaimer up front, let's begin. Most of us can appreciate the historical significance of these coins. The chains representing the 13 original colonies on the reverse of the 1793 1 cent, the pole and cap representing liberty on the obverse of the 1794 half cent. These coin designs were images representing liberty, freedom, and the promise of our new nation ruled by elected representatives instead of a king in a distant parliament. In the years following the Revolutionary War, these images had a strong connection and even an emotional effect on those who lived through those turbulent times. The shield on the obverse of the 2 cent, issued at the end of the Civil War, and the torch on the reverse of the 1946 Roosevelt dime, reverse depicting a torch in the center representing liberty, flanked by an olive sprig representing peace and oak representing strength, had some meaning after World War II, but even that memory has faded by now. We collectors enjoy these coins. We study and collect them. Most of us, on this Zoom at least, still respond emotionally to these coins because they are mementos of our rich history that we study and appreciate. But what about the average American who does not study coins and whose knowledge of American history comes from school and some passing movies or maybe some documentaries? Does the average high school student today have any emotional connection to the images on these coins? I think not. I think that it's safe to say that 9 out of 10 Americans today cannot articulate the meaning of the pole and cap Liberty half cent, the shield on the 2 cent, or even the torch on the reverse of our dime. When the Citizens Coinage Advisory Committee had the opportunity to change the reverse of the Lincoln cent after the commemoration of Lincoln's birth on those 4 Lincoln pennies that were issued, I was vehemently opposed to the design. I argued that the meaning of the shield was diluted over the last 130 plus years, and that it has little meaning to most Americans and even less emotional impact to Americans born in the 21st century. Maybe that was the epiphany event for me and some of the others at the United States Mint, that it wasn't just our coinage that needed a refresh, but the images on the coinage need to be more modern and relevant to Americans today. Following the events at the United States Mint that led to the CCAC's report on design excellence and the appointment of a new acting mint director in 2001, the idea for the Liberty High Relief Gold Coin series was born. This biennial series of coin art gave the mint artists a platform to experiment with new, modern images of liberty that might create the same emotional response from 21st century Americans that our nation's early coinage created, and the same emotional response that the post-Civil War coinage created. Since 3 of the 5 gold American Liberty coins made since 2015 have received recognition by an international panel of over 120 judges who awarded them Cody winner status, the effort certainly looks like it is succeeding. 50 years of pop culture. That's how long it's been. The disconnect between the classic images on coins and the people who use them is not just an American issue. It's a worldwide issue. In this talk, I'm going to attempt to illustrate the search for meaning on world coin designs by highlighting a few coins and discussing them in the context of the national identity of people in those countries who use them. From time to time, I'll reference my book, Krause Coin of the Year, because that is the because the coins in that series have been selected by a thorough vetting process that culminates with 120 coin industry and world mint leaders voting for the best coins. If my talk today piques your interest in contemporary world coins, coins minted over the last 50 years, I highly recommend narrowing the vast universe of coins to collect by assembling a collection of Coin of the Year coins from 1982 to the present. Most of these coins are readily available with some digging and quite affordable, such as under $100 each. So let's talk about the influence of pop culture. Over the past 50 years, pop culture has increasingly influenced various aspects of everyday life, from fashion to technology and even the design of national currencies. World coin design, traditionally rooted in historic figures, classically based national symbols, and cultural heritage from centuries past, has evolved to reflect contemporary trends, global icons, and significant cultural moments. This evolution highlights the importance of cultural relevance in contemporary coin design and reflects how societies today honor their shared experiences through commemorative and circulating coins. The growing influence of global media also led to a worldwide shift in national identity represented on coins. Television series and films have had a tremendous impact on national symbols. So too has sports, wildlife, native culture, literature, and the arts. Finland has long been a leader in the art of metals and coins. In 1985, the Mint of Finland produced a 500 marka coin with the stated purpose of commemorating the 150th anniversary of the Kaleva, the Finnish national epic. This poem was part of the Finnish oral tradition for over 2,000 years before Elias Lönnrot edited the poem and published it for the first time. This coin won the Cody Coin of the Year Award for coins dated 1985. It was also a Cody winner in the Best Silver, Best Crown, and Most Artistic categories for that year. Finland pioneered a more modernistic approach to coin and metal design, and the obverse of the coin depicts the hero of the epic poem standing amidst the stylized waves, and the reverse of this coin shows trees reflected in the water of the Finnish countryside, a remarkable design for 1985. While Finland had broken the pictorial barrier on coin designs as early as the 1960s, the international recognition of the artistic merit of this coin as a Cody winner had a significant influence on world coin designs after 1985. For the people of Finland, the Elias Lönnrot's publication of the Kalevala 150 years before this coin was made inspired Finland's national awakening and eventual independence. It continues to inspire Finnish art, literature, and music, serving as a symbol of Finland's resilience and creativity. The 1986 Russian ballet 1,000 ruble coin won a Cody Award in the Best Silver category for coins dated 1996. Ballet holds profound significance for the Russian people. It is not just an art form, but a cultural treasure that embodies grace, discipline, and artistic excellence. Ballet has been deeply intertwined with Russian history from its introduction during the reign of Peter the Great to its flourishing in the imperial courts and theaters. It became a symbol of sophistication and cultural pride, showcasing Russia's ability to rival Western artistic traditions. In Russia, the Nutcracker is celebrated for its enchanting music, intricate choreography, and magical storytelling. It is often performed during the holiday season, evoking a sense of nostalgia and joy. The ballet also showcases the technical brilliance of Russian dancers and the enduring legacy of Tchaikovsky's compositions, which are deeply intertwined with Russian identity and pride. Starting in 1992, Latvia used designs for the 1 lat coin that reflect Latvia's rich cultural heritage and deep connection to nature and tradition. This is a highly collectible and inexpensive set of coins that will give you a good sense of Latvian national identity. And I'm talking about less than $10 each for these coins that are still very available. The salmon. In Latvia, the salmon symbolizes vitality, abundance, and the connection to nature. It also represents the importance of water resources, as seen on the Latvian 1 lats coin, where the salmon is depicted as a symbol of prosperity and the Latvian love for nature. The stork. The stork is considered sacred in Latvia and symbolizes good luck, family, and renewal. It is often associated with fertility and the cyclical nature of life. Ants. Ants in Latvia symbolize industriousness, teamwork, and perseverance. They are admired for their ability to work collectively and overcome challenges, reflecting values of diligence and community. The mushroom. Mushrooming is deeply ingrained in Latvian culture. If you've ever been to Latvia, it symbolizes a connection to nature, tradition, and family. It's considered a cherished national activity, emphasizing the importance of passing down knowledge and enjoying the bounty of nature. Spriditis. Spriditis is a beloved character in Latvian folklore. He symbolizes courage, resourcefulness, and the journey of self-discovery. He represents the triumph of the small and the clever over the big and the powerful, embodying the spirit of resilience and ingenuity. The rooster, last but not least in this set, the rooster atop St. Peter's Church in Riga serves as a weather vane and symbolizes vigilance, hope, and the triumph of light over darkness. It's also a cultural icon of Riga, representing resilience and the city's maritime heritage. This is how animals and nature and folklore all contribute to national identity, and all of these images have a meaning to the people in Latvia. Australia, let's talk about the kangaroo. First issued in 1993, is not just a cute kangaroo, and it is a cute kangaroo, but it was selected for Australia's national bullion coin because of its profound symbolism and cultural significance. The kangaroo depicted on the coin is an iconic representation of Australia, embodying the nation's unique wildlife, resilience, and vitality. The kangaroo is often shown mid-leap, symbolizing movement and progress, reflecting Australia's dynamic spirit. And we clearly identify here in America the kangaroo with Australia, as do many people around the world. Natural art, native cultural art. Let's talk about Canada. The 1997 Canada Gold coin won the Coady Best Gold for 1997 dated coins. The Haida carved mask represents the Haida cultural hero, Raven, and the legend of Raven bringing light to the world. This narrative tells of Raven reclaiming the sun from the chief of the sky and returning it to the people of Earth. The mask symbolizes enlightenment, tradition, the importance of storytelling in Haida culture. For regular Canadians, the Haida mask represents storytelling, spirituality, and the connection to nature, which were central to Haida culture. The mask also fosters pride for and a connection to the Indigenous people of Canada. The 2000s marked a turning point as pop culture began to have a more overt influence on coin designs. The release of collectible and commemorative coins featuring fashion, sports, popular literature, and films became more prevalent. By the 2000s, we see more coins celebrating fashion, popular movies, books, and sports. This innovative design, symbolizing transition and reflecting the nation's heritage, appropriately commemorates the new millennium in France. As the first designer to have drawn his inspiration from the street and the first living courtier to have had his work exhibited in a museum, it's fitting that Yves Saint Laurent should have been chosen to open a new chapter in French coinage. The obverse bears his signature as an image of his first show in 1962, a show that was totally to change the course of fashion history. His talisman heart is the principal design feature on the reverse. A collage taken from his New Year's greeting cards, this symbol of love is very important to the house of Yves Saint Laurent, the design being based on a heart-shaped brooch, which was featured in every collection presented by the house since the first haute couture show in 1962. New Zealand, New Zealand, New Zealand. Lord of the Rings. In 2003, New Zealand won a Coady in the most popular category for the $1 nickel brass Lord of the Rings coin. The ring binds together the events of the trilogy. The coin uses the ring as its centerpiece and includes elfish script in the design. J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings is rich with meaning and symbolism, exploring themes that resonate deeply with readers. The central symbol of the story, the One Ring, represents the silent force binding together the events that unfold. It represents power and its corrupting influence. It also reflects the human desire for immortality and the dangers of pursuing it. Film tourism has made New Zealand synonymous with Middle-earth and boosted its global profile. The breathtaking landscapes of New Zealand served as the filming locations for the entire Lord of the Ring trilogy, directed by Peter Jackson. From the lush greenery of Hobbiton in Matamata to the rugged peaks and valleys that represented Mordor, the country's diverse terrain brought Tolkien's fantasy world to life. Here's a €1 silver Jules Verne coin, 5 weeks in a balloon. It was a Best Crown winner by Cody for 2006, dated coins. It was issued to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the death of Jules Verne. The obverse depicts a hot air balloon. Left are parrots with native masks as the lower left. There are plants on the right and native huts below it with a map of Africa in the background. The reverse features a bust of Jules Verne with instruments and anchor in a curved band. The message of Jules Verne's 5 weeks in a balloon revolves around the spirit of exploration, scientific innovation, and human perseverance. Through the adventurous journey of Dr. Samuel Ferguson and his companions across Africa in a hydrogen-filled balloon, Verne highlights the importance of curiosity and the quest for knowledge. The novel also reflects the colonial attitudes of the time, showcasing both the beauty and the challenges of uncharted territories. In France, Verne's legacy is particularly cherished in his hometown of Nantes, where the Musée Jules Verne showcases his life and works. His novels are a source of national pride, reflecting France's rich literary tradition and its contributions to global culture. Again, with literature in Denmark, the 10 Kronen celebrated Hans Christian Andersen's Snow Queen. It won the Cody Most Artistic category for coins dated 2006. The Snow Queen is the fourth of 5 coins issued to commemorate the fairy tales of Hans Christian Andersen. The moral of Hans Christian Andersen's The Snow Queen centers on the power of love, friendship, and the perseverance to overcome adversity. The story emphasizes that true love and kindness can break even the coldest of barriers, as seen in Gerda's unwavering determination to rescue her friend Kai from the Snow Queen's icy grasp. It also highlights the importance of inner strength and triumph of good over evil. In Denmark, Andersen's legacy is honored through festivals, museums, and monuments, particularly in his hometown of Odense. The Snow Queen, in particular, is cherished for its allegorical depth and its exploration of human emotions and relationships. It reflects the Danish appreciation for imagination, creativity, and the enduring power of stories to connect people across generations. Moving into the 2010s, as we get closer, with the 2010s saw an explosion of pop culture represented in coin designs. Advancements in minting technology allowed for greater detail, color application, and creative freedom, enabling mints to issue coins that catered to collectors and fans alike. Popular media franchises became a dominant theme in commemorative coin releases. Mints repurposed classic coin designs, giving them a more contemporary twist. Comic art, poster art, food, sports, children's art, and stories became much more prevalent in world coin designs in the 2010s. The number of coins issued worldwide began to grow considerably. More world mints began to search for subjects and designs that have an emotional impact on their citizens. According to Tom Michael, writing in World Coin News in 2024, Tom said, quote, "In 2000, we saw about 1,800 new coin types being released. And by 2010, just a decade later, the number was almost 2,200. So it's a remarkable increase in the 2010s. And so this coin is a modern depiction of the sower by the Paris Mint. This began to appear prominently in the 21st century. The original design by Louis Oscar Roti was first introduced on French coins in 1897, and it became an enduring symbol of France. Over time, the Paris Mint has reimagined this iconic figure in various modern contexts. This is among the first. For example, in 2014, the Paris Mint launched a new series featuring the sower as part of its commemorative coin collections. These modern designs often incorporate contemporary elements while staying true to the spirit of the original artwork. The evolution of the sower coins by the Paris Mint is a fascinating journey through French numismatic history. The design's timeless appeal lies in its representation of growth, hope, renewal. It's a great coin. Now for the Superman in Canada, beginning in 2011. As you can see, the use of color here, right? The generations, quote, "The generations of young people who grew up reading Superman comics may not have fully appreciated the story behind them," said Minister Alexander from Canada. Quote, "Our government celebrates Canada's history and heritage and the very values and strengths that Superman embodies." The first Superman coins from Canada were issued in 2013 by the Royal Canadian Mint to celebrate the 75th anniversary of Superman's debut in Action Comics #1. These coins honored Superman's Canadian roots, as one of his co-creators, Joe Shuster, was born in Toronto. The collection featured 7 coins, including gold, silver, and crypto and cupronickel designs, each showcasing iconic Superman imagery. Back to France. France's 10 euro Yves Klein, a 1912 coin, won the Coin of the Year for coins dated 2012. This was the first time the Cody Top honor was awarded to a colorized coin. Yves Klein is regarded as one of the most important French artists of the modern era. In 1960, he was among those who founded Nouveau Realisme, France's response to the American pop art movement. Klein's signature color was International Klein Blue, which he created. The obverse design shows the bow-tied Klein with his outstretched hand drenched in International Klein Blue. His eyes are penetrating. The reverse rendition is one of Klein's paintings. Klein's work extended beyond painting. He pioneered performance art and conceptual art using unconventional methods like living brushes, which were models, real live models covered in paint to create his pieces. His art challenged traditional boundaries and emphasized the spiritual and emotional dimensions of color and form. A perfect candidate for a 2010 era coin. The £2 United Kingdom coin from 2014 won a Cody for best circulating coin. The British Royal Mint describes it best as follows, quote, in 1914, Lord Kitchener was tasked with leading a recruitment campaign to build one of Britain's largest volunteer armies. Its iconic, quote, "Your country needs you," unquote, poster features a striking image of Kitchener pointing directly at the viewer. It became strongly associated with the outbreak of the First World War and remains one of the most, and this coin remains in the symbol image, one of the most enduring symbols of wartime propaganda. The design was chosen to commemorate the centenary of the war's beginning in 2014, highlighting the government's effort to rally volunteers at the war's outset. Quote, "The 2014 coin marked the centenary of the First World War and was the first in a 5-year series, tracing the journey from the war's outbreak to its armistice. It serves as a poignant reminder of one of Britain's most significant historical moments, capturing both the spirit and the somber reality of the rush to enlist that defined the early days of the conflict." From war to baseball in America. In 2016 was the first time the United States won the Krause Coin of the Year award in 12 years. The United States Baseball Hall of Fame cupped clad $50 won in the most innovative category for coins dated 2014. It was selected by the International Panel of Judges as the coin of the year that year because it was, in fact, the first cupped nickel-clad coin. So while silver is a softer metal, as is gold, or even softer metal, these clad coins are challenged to produce. And so not only is the coin innovative, but baseball is often referred to as America's pastime, symbolizing the nation's values of teamwork, perseverance, and community. For many Americans, baseball is more than just a game. It's a tradition passed down through generations, a source of pride, and a unifying force in the nation. For many Americans, the baseball and the baseball glove are iconic images steeped in tradition, nostalgia, and reflecting the values celebrated in the sport and in American culture. Captain America, officially licensed by, this was a $2 50 millimeter coin from 2016. It was officially licensed by Marvel. Captain America's trusty shield has become a fixture of Marvel lore and a globally recognized icon. For 75 years now, the simple red, white, and blue shield has always been at the first Avengers' side. The shield debuted in 1941 with Captain America and was encased in Arctic ice with him until he was rediscovered in the modern era. Like the super soldier Steve Rogers himself, the shield is one of a kind, constructed from a vibranium metal alloy that has never been duplicated. The captain's shield is virtually indestructible. A wonder of engineering, the shield has great aerodynamic properties. It's able to slice through the air with minimal wind resistance and deflection of its path. Its overall resilience, combined with its natural concentric design, enable it to rebound from objects with minimal loss of angular momentum and absorb massive impacts without sustaining damage. Others of these coins have since been made, and they're still very popular. The 50 euro silver version of the 2017 Guy Savoy coin from the French Excellence series of the Paris Mint won a Coty for Best Silver Coin, and it won the overall Coty Coin of the Year award for coins minted in 2017. For Savoy, the egg is, quote, the second salt of the earth, unquote. Essential to his cooking, this ingredient inspired the theme from the series. The coins also incorporate the 4 elements essential to the chef's alchemic work: fire for cooking, the nurturing of earth, water, and air. The obverse represents Guy Savoy's right handprint. And it's covered with drawings of ingredients used by the cook: asparagus, a John Dory, an artichoke, and an oyster. On the left side, there's a pile of pots, a reference to the copper ones found in the chef's kitchen. French culture is intimately intertwined with culinary arts. French food is at the heart of the identity of the French people. Savoy's played a role as an ambassador of gastronomy on the global stage. His influence extends to inspiring chefs and food enthusiasts, making him a cherished figure in France's rich gastronomic tradition. Back to Latvia with My Latvia 2018. Children's art. Children's art has been recognized as a noteworthy factor of culture indirectly related to the Industrial Revolution. The sun, in this coin, the sun on the obverse represents a source of all life on Earth, a symbol of kindness, the core of the human being and its basic value. It's the nucleus of numerous Latvian folk songs. Children's art of the 20th century has managed to shatter the monopoly of academic and professional art. This being enhanced by the expansion of modernism and avant-garde movements, which opened the doors to the world of relativism in art. Latvian contemporary paintings sometimes reveal trends of children's naive style due to the connection of adult and children's creativity being mutual and reciprocal. The artistic energy the coin emanates is meant to stir up sincere emotions, the sense of one's own nest, the feeling of Latvia as the sole place under the sun, where it is cherished with heartfelt devotions, even on a rainy day. May Latvia live and prosper forever. Another coin from Latvia, the 5 euro Cat's Mill, produced in 2019. The Latvia Mint said, quote, a public opinion poll concerning the nation's most favorite literary works in Latvia came up with a seemingly unexpected answer. The majority voted for a fairy tale. It was a literary fairy tale, Cat's Mill by Latvian poet, prose writer, and politician Kārlis Skalbi, who lived from 1879 to 1945. The fairy tale features a juxtaposition of the good and the evil. The central image of the tale, and a symbol of the good, is the white cat owning a mill. The fairy tale opens with a romantic description of well-being and prosperity. I'm going to tell you the story. Once upon a time, when the years were good, there was a cat who owned a mill. The mill worked day and night. Purr, purr, purr. The miller himself was walking around in a white coat and counting the sacks of nuts and almonds. The vile and rich black cat, with devils as servants, is the white cat's opponent. He drives the white cat into despair and poverty. The white cat suffers all kinds of justice, pain, wrongdoing, as well as the bitter fate of a homeless vagabond, until it almost seems that evil has triumphed and has taken over the whole universe, and the poor cat has been completely denied and abandoned by everybody. Yet, as usually happens in fairy tales, the goodness prevails again. The sad path of the white cat eventually crosses that of a king, compassionately commiserating all the torment and pain of the world. The cat can finally share his unhappy life experience with somebody who is a good listener and has a kind heart. The king's ready to use his powers and severely punish all wrongdoers, yet the cat finds forgiveness in his heart for all of them. My king, I bear no grudge against them. These little children are so curious. They don't know hurt yet. They want to see pain and rejoice to see the cat suffering. Life will soon injure their young souls, and they will learn. Maybe we shall even become good friends. And so it was. The cat got back his mill. The devils snatched the black cat with his money chest and whisked him away to the swamp, as they no longer felt safe to live at the mill. And the cat stood again in front of the mill in his white coat, and the nut grinders and almond grinders were purring once again. The moral of the fairy tale is twofold. Do not spread evil, and learn to forgive. It's a cute story and a pretty amazing coin that illustrates it. Paddington Bear. We can't leave the 2010s without talking about the 2018 celebration of the 60th anniversary of Paddington Bear, with 50-pence commemorative coins, blending literary heritage with pop culture appeal. Michael Bond has written over 20 books detailing the bear's adventures with the Brown family, and the stories have more recently been made into a pair of successful films starring A-list actors alongside the captivating little bear. Part of a series of commemorative coins, this silver-proof 50-pence features Paddington Bear waving a Union Jack outside Buckingham Palace. The bear is depicted in color with his charming red hat and blue duffel coat, while the palace exists in outline behind him. Paddington Bear's connection to Buckingham Palace carries deep symbolism, blending whimsy with reverence. The beloved bear represents kindness, resilience, and the ability to find joy in simple things, qualities that resonate universally. His interactions with Queen Elizabeth II, especially during her Platinum Jubilee, symbolize the blending of tradition with modernity and the enduring charm of British culture. Paddington's presence at the palace became a poignant symbol of national mourning after the Queen's passing. Many saw him, Paddington, as a comforting figure, embodying the warmth and affection people felt for the monarch sci-fi franchise and appealing to fans across generations. Star Trek coins of Canada in 2016. The Royal Canadian Mint celebrated the 50th anniversary of Star Trek by issuing a collection of coins in gold, silver, and nickel-plated steel. These were officially licensed products, showcasing the characters and images from the first series of Star Trek that began airing in 1966. Star Trek is a rich tapestry of symbolism and meaning, representing humanity's aspirations, challenges, and triumphs. At its core, it embodies the spirit of exploration and the pursuit of knowledge, showcasing a future where diverse cultures and species work together for the greater good. The series often uses its futuristic setting to explore contemporary social issues, such as equality, justice, and the consequences of technological advancement. The iconic Starfleet insignia, particularly the Delta emblem, symbolizes unity, progress, and the pioneering spirit of space exploration. It draws inspiration from historical NASA and military emblems, connecting humanity's past achievements to its imagined future. Star Trek's themes of hope, cooperation, and resilience resonate deeply, making it a timeless reflection of humanity. Now for the 2020s, the digital influence and modern cultural icons. The first decade of the 21st century brought significant changes to coin design, driven largely by advancements in minting technology and an increasing acceptance of pop culture influences on coins worldwide. The rise of the internet and global media connectivity made it easier for cultural icons to gain international recognition, encouraging mints around the world to cater to broader audiences. According to Tom Michael, writing in World Coin News, in 2020, the number of new world coin issues approached 3,500. And in 2023, our hobby crested the 4,000 mark for new commemorative issues, 4,000 coins. That's the kind of growth we're dealing with in this hobby and in this quest, this search for meaning in the 21st century. And when we talk about meaning in the 21st century, let's talk about the Harry Potter coins issued in 2022. Harry Potter celebrated its 25th years since the novel and the Philosopher's Stone by J.K. Rowling was first published in the UK in 1997 by Bloomsbury Publishing. The Harry Potter series is rich with symbolism and meaning, exploring themes of love, sacrifice, identity, and the battle between good and evil. Here are some key symbols. The flying car. The enchanted Ford Anglia represents rebellion, freedom, and the transition from childhood to independence. When Harry and Ron take matters into their own hands and fly to Hogwarts, it's an act of defiance, but it's also an act of empowerment. Later, the car becomes almost sentient, rejecting authority, and symbolizing the wild, untamed magic outside rigid trussels. Black Lake, the place of mystery and transformation. The Black Lake represents the unknown and the subconscious. It's the site of the second Trisword task, where champions must confront their deepest fears underwater. Water often symbolizes renewal, change, or the passage between worlds, making the lake a fitting test of courage and emotional strength. The winged keys, the last coin. These enchanted keys guard an important passageway, symbolizing the challenge of persistence and intelligence. Unlike brute force, finding the right key requires strategy and problem solving, mirroring Harry's journey, where overcoming obstacles is not just about magic, but about wisdom and determination. back to Latvia with their €5 Stardust from 2023. This coin won a Cody category for coins dated 2023. The image of a human created by the author, the pedestrian, is in constant motion, in relentless quest for truth, meaning, and belonging. The constellation symbolizes the interconnection between the earth and the sky, and emphasizing the belonging of human beings to the stardust. Bluey. Just last year, this is a series of coins created by Joe Bruman and animated by Ludo Studio. This homegrown Australian show debuted on ABC Kids on October 1st, 2018. Bluey follows a fan-loving blue heeler pup named Bluey and her family, Mum Chili, Dad Brant, and Sister Bingo. From backyard adventures to imaginative games, Bluey shows us magic in everyday moments. Taking the world by storm, Bluey has captured the hearts of families around the world and won numerous awards, including the coveted International Emmy Kids Award. Its secret? Relatable stories, warm humor, and valuable lessons about family and play. This show doesn't just entertain, it celebrates the joy of childhood and the importance of family time. In the wonderful world of Bluey, every day is an adventure. It's interesting to note that the Bluey coins in Australia sold out on the very first day. There were lines to buy them, and it has a very high mintage. So I'm sure these will be available more readily in the future in the aftermarket when they come to America. They're kind of hard to find in America. So what's the future of coin design in pop culture-driven world? Looking forward, the influence of pop culture on coins, on coin design is likely to grow even stronger as world mints search for designs that resonate with people living in the 21st century. National mints may increasingly collaborate with entertainment industries to produce limited edition collectibles and commemorative issues. In conclusion, the evolution of world coin design over the last 50 years illustrates how deeply pop culture has permeated every aspect of society, from commemorating historic events and cultural icons to celebrating modern entertainment franchises. Coins no longer rely on classical images from our ancient past. As pop culture continues to evolve, so too will the designs that grace coins around the world, serving as timeless reminders of the moments and icons that shape our contemporary collective experience. So, thank you. I apologize if that was a bit long, but if there are any questions, I'm delighted to take them.
Perfect. Thank you so much. If you would like to stop sharing your screen, that would be great.
Yes.
And then we do have some questions here already. So I'm just going to start at the top. And so some collectors, like myself, really enjoy seeing varied coin designs, including what we have seen on quarters for the last 10 plus years, and what we see from around the world, like what you have shown here. At the same time, there seems to be a strong strong segment of collectors that want coins to return to single designs without varied designs. Do you have any sense of where coin design in America might be going? For example, I'm encouraged by the 2026 coin designs and the youth and sports quarters coming up, but beyond that, is there talk to change other coin designs? Sorry, goodness.
I'm thinking if I'm allowed to say this, I think I can. I think it's legislation that's been passed. We are going to see a complete redesign of American coins in 2026. to celebrate the 250th. And that's going to be combined not only with some very interesting gold and platinum designs for the existing series of coins, but this year we're going to be issuing three licensed coins for the first time, in gold, unfortunately, and next year is another three, and the year after is another three. So it's going to be three coins a year for the next 3 years, featuring Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, American icons. And the idea is to try to introduce images that resonate with 21st century Americans.
Great. Okay, where do you see the messaging connecting with the new U.S. quarters and $1 industrial coins? They seem to be covering a broad spectrum of everything.
Congress, Congress tells, Congress determines what our commemorative coins and what our coins are going to look like. And in some cases they very specifically tell the artist communicate what the design should look like. So, there's very little, that we, the public, or we, the CCAC, could do about that. Other than we view our job as to produce the best possible designs and make Congress, happy with the legislation that they pass. So we are going to see some, and you're seeing it with these dollar coins. Some of them are breathtaking. Some of them are actually design, they're beautiful designs, modernistic, and very impactful in their meaning. Unfortunately, they don't circulate, but we collect them.
Okay. It seems the U.S. Mint is still making innovative designs, and many with pop culture influence. For example, the 20 American Women quarters, 57 innovation dollar designs. Why aren't the U.S. Mint penny, nickel, dime, and even half dollar given similar annual redesigns rather than bearing the cutting edge artistic innovation in commemorative coins?
I think the question really is, why the gold and why the silver medals? And the answer to that is the Secretary of the Treasury, can authorize gold coins and can authorize metal production of metals, but only Congress can authorize design changes on circulating coins, and only Congress can authorize a truly commemorative coin in the various denominations. So that's why we did see the Lincoln pennies, where I started this talk. The Lincoln pennies had 4 different commemorative reverses, and that was authorized by Congress. The Secretary of the Treasury would not have had the power to do that.
Okay. You mentioned some U.S. commemorative coins, but what about circulating coins such as the Roosevelt dime and the Kennedy half dollar?
That's same answer.
Yeah. Sorry, I read it as I went. It seems that the Canadian, British, and Australian mints and some others are more apt to make colorized coins and coins exploring pop culture. Do you see the U.S. Mint doing the same in the near future? If not, how can collectors encourage them to do so?
It was David Ryder who really, introduced the first U.S. colorized coin. And and I remember he asked me about world coins with color, and his original impression was that these colorized coins are overdone by a lot of world mints. The color is just too dominant, and I brought in I brought in a whole bunch of coins to show them and to show around in the mint, and and what I tried to show them, I think successfully, is when color is applied in a subtle way to create an effect, then it could become a very beautiful coin, as we saw with the Klein coin, right? The French Klein coin with the international blue is on the hand, right? The coins that tend to win international awards are not up to now, have not been the gaudy, the overdone multicolored coins where the color hits you,
Yeah.
not, less than the design. So we have done colorized coins. The mint does not do these coins, does not have the technical capacity to do the color. They have to outsource the color. And so, we will see more colorized coins in the future, I would suspect. But certainly not as many, and I don't see us producing as many colorized coins as Canada, Australia, or even France.
Yeah. You just have a praise of awesome presentation. Somebody would like to know, is that a numismatic library behind you?
Well, I not on this wall, but on that wall, yes.
Okay.
And I
Huh.
do, and I do have my handy dandy red book,
Oh,
always at my beck and call.
at the ready, huh?
Yes, sir.
Will the designs of American coins change in 2027?
Well, they have to change back. So, and we don't know yet. But yeah, they are going to have to change back, and it'll be very interesting. I mean, in today, I think 2027 is a lifetime away.
Yeah.
We're still, I guess we're waiting for a new mint director, and we'll see what the new director's priorities are.
Mm-hmm. Is there a book covering just the coins of the year winners?
Yes, yes, that's my book.
Yes.
And I am coming out with I'm trying to navigate through the publishing maze of Krause. They have Krause, which now is Penguin, has the copyright. So I may have to do a totally different update. But the book has appeared in China, and remarkably, the Chinese edition sold out in a matter of months, and the edition was 60,000 copies. The Krause Coin of the Year coins are collected very aggressively in China. It's and when you think about it, with 4,400 coins a year, it's impossible to collect every coin. Impossible. So you have to narrow your collection in some way. And I use this collection. I have a collection of these coins, all but four. So they're with very few exceptions, they're still affordable. They're beautiful. They have great history. There's a lot to study from around the world. It's the new stamp collecting. These coins are the appeal to understand a country and what makes people tick. And I think I tried to illustrate that each country is its own study. Each country has its own national ethos, and to really, to have these coins, to study these coins in the context of, really giving you an understanding of the country. What I just did with Latvia, by showing you how these different, mostly animals, right? I mean, on these coins, but they're not just animals in Latvia.
Yeah. 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 Do you think the public might consider the cartoon coins as amusement tokens?
I always did. And and it was really, it was really Joe Mayna's, the chief engraver's artistic vision. He really, has really convinced us all. And what you just saw in this presentation, it really, these coins are not, what I used to think, that of these coins as appealing to kids. Like, who's going to want one of these coins? Come on. But then I realized I'm kind of being a little snobby because, yeah, I do collect ancient coins. I do collect hammered coins. I do collect, and this is very, very different. And then I realized, what's really going on here is exactly what we're grappling with at the Citizens Coinage Advisory Committee, which is that these symbols, the pole and cap, and the shield, these things don't mean very much to people born and living in the 21st century, right? They meant a lot in their day, and in their day they may have been comic art or street art or urban art. Today it is comic art, street art. That's what's capturing the public's imagination. The Superman coin, when you talk about a new design for liberty, or what does it mean to be American? What does it mean? Well, Superman means something to people in the 21st century. And the Marvel comic, look at the success in the box office of Marvel comics. These images of the Shield and the Avengers, and these heroes, they've become our fictional heroes, but they symbolize a greater something greater, and something great about us.
Well, on your mention of liberty, I'm going to finish with this last question. What is the status of the 2025 American Liberty coin?
Well, it's been approved. So, the American Liberty coin's been approved, and as far as we currently know, it's on the schedule to be released. I think people will find it, again, it embraces, like all of these Liberty coins in the series, the series gives the artists because the Citizens Coinage Advisory Committee does not design coins. That's the province of artists. Artists interpret, artists create. And the whole purpose of the American Liberty series is to try to find new symbols that appeal to Americans, and it's really an experimental. These are very much experimental, coin designs that give the artists complete freedom to design something, as opposed to when coins are the result of legislation from Congress. You can't deviate from the legislation of Congress. They tell us what they want, and we just give them the best possible example to fulfill that ambition. But these gold coins, and the silver medals, we can, the mint has discretion to make these, and so this is kind of like what I originally wanted, an art medal program. Right. And a lot of world mints use an art medal program to introduce, new designs, or to experiment and to see what works. We didn't do that. We went to the American Liberty series. Great series when you think about it.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining us, and for Donald, a great presentation. Our Numismatic Talks are being recorded and will be available once they're edited on money.org/education. We will be back tomorrow with populist art, the fight over the soul of money in America, as reflected in art from 1870 to 1900. So thank you guys for joining us, and hopefully we'll see some of you tomorrow.
Thank you all.
Thanks, Donald.